haven't been to too many classes yet, but you can tell there's that spark when people are really interested or when a professor makes that connection, and there'll be a laugh or sort of looks exchanged that have this anticipation of, right, okay, what's next?
So in my life as a scientist, the thing that counts is evidence. And that's a lesson that I learned early in looking at poetry through the prism of the writings of I.A. Richards. That is, what matters in poetry is what the poet says and puts on the page. This is a lesson that applies not only in science and in literature, but to history and many other disciplines.
One of the things that I'm really grateful for is that as the years go on, I'm more and more outraged that there's homelessness in wealthy societies like ours. This is something that none of us want to see and tolerate.
This is a great and beautiful world we live in. It's full of horrors, but fundamentally it's full of great energy and great order. And I want my poems to be proper tributes to those things.
I want to know about philosophy. I want to know about math. I also, as I said, I want to do things that I've never done before. I want to take courses that just on a whim, just because they sound interesting.
When I was 12, I did this pilot for a news show. It's a news show for 12 to 16-year-olds, and it's basically a culmination of words they should know and fun facts and college advice. And it started airing about 4 years ago on Fox and CBS, and I think it's pretty important because I feel that I get to shape a lot of the ideas of young teenagers. So what I do directly affects how they live, and I think that's pretty great.
I hope to come out of Amherst with a greater understanding of social conflicts, the conflicts that we find ourselves in as a nation, as citizens and as individuals, and in that understanding be able to work more about resolving those conflicts between different beliefs and different social values.
I'm interested in historical linguistics, which is sort of the origin of language, how languages are broken up into different groups and how those groups are interconnected.
My freshman seminar is Eros and Insight, and it's philosophical, very abstract, and completely unlike anything I've ever taken before.
I think the little efforts that each person can put, no matter how small, can really, really make a change. Like what I am now. I'm really at Amherst, and it's like a dream come true for me, because by the grace of Mr. Koenig and the Amherst community, I'm here to get proper education, and I think it's a responsibility for me to really enact that and push that and try to get others to get themselves involved in the community and in helping others.
I realized that that's what this is all about, and a person I came in as, last week is going to be somebody different when I walk out the door in 4 years.
I think what I find most fascinating about neuroscience is the question of how billions and billions of nerve cells in our brains can create a human consciousness with feelings, desires, hopes, all these things.
Politics ultimately, in the Aristotelian sense, must redound to judgments about the ends of actions, the ends of regimes, and how everything must come back to the actions of individuals.
My senior thesis for theater and dance is I'm acting in a play called Tartuffe by Molière, which is being translated, or has been translated by Connie Cogden, a resident playwright here, and actually the guy who does the main translation, Richard Wilbur, poet laureate, very famous, Amherst alum, war veteran, maybe tenured at Smith, is going to be around campus too. So if you're watching this, Richard, come check me out. I won't disappoint you.
I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm reading, I'm researching, I'm being curious.
I think I find the things that I'm passionate about and I remain dedicated to them.
I guess the moment that really stands out for me is my sophomore year when we played Colby. It was Coach Ostendarp's memorial service after he had passed away. And none of the guys on the team had ever met Coach Ostendarp, and certainly we hadn't played for him. But we met all the alums on Friday. All of his former players came back, and we saw how much he had meant to all of them. And I think the guys really took to heart how important that game was for them. And we came out and beat Colby 38-3. And we sing our fight song every time we win a home game and every time we win a road game. But all the alums and all of Coach Ostendarp's former players came out and sang it with us. And all the guys just got goosebumps. It was incredible. And that was really a tremendous moment.
I was going into my senior year with, okay, one more year, yeah, do what I have to do, have a good time, then leave. And then only a couple days ago I was thinking, someone mentioned, let's go to Stone Basement. And I was thinking, Stone Basement, that location has a meaning to me, upper level Frost, Valentine, Mayo Smith. Just the locations alone embody such a meaning and like such a history that everywhere on campus, Memorial Hill, yada, 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 is just such a part of me now that it's been great, but it's a bigger deal to leave than I had imagined.
What does it mean to live a life of consequence? Well, obviously it's different for everyone, but for me, it has been bound up with books. The idea that I could reach thousands and thousands and thousands of people just by sitting down at my desk with a pen and a piece of paper, that's consequence enough for me.
People have asked what lives of consequence means. At Amherst, obviously the school makes a great impact on the life of each student at the school, but it also makes an impact on all the people its graduates impact with their lives, whether they're teachers, doctors, scientists, in business, all the very various ways that Amherst graduates lead their lives and impact thousands and millions of other lives.
When I think about principled lives of consequence, I see so many different examples of that. I look at my father with a PhD in economics going off to be a third world economist in Afghanistan. I look at my 9 best friends from Amherst, and one's a filmmaker, and one's a lawyer, and one's a homemaker, and one's a doctor. But they're all pillars of their own little society, and they're all pillars of their community.
A life of consequence is about never being satisfied. It's about driving yourself to always learn, to always think through the challenges that come at you, to never assume anything when the conventional wisdom tells you that this is what you should be doing. It's to challenge that.
I'd like my life to be important.